Good evening.
Hey.
I have Peaches and Donna. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Thanks for not sending us off with the day of the week.
I know, right? I'm doing better. Happy Taco Tuesday. Do you guys have tacos for dinner?
No.
I gave my kids pizza because I just didn't feel like cooking. So we'll have like chicken tacos later in the week. Maybe Thursday.
There you go. Thursday.
Margaritas and tacos for Thursday.
I'm gonna try to get some margaritas up in me this weekend, some kind of way.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna be calling up my best friend. Hey, girl, we need to go.
Girls' night. We need to go out.
Like, really?
Sounds like y'all got some things to discuss or some steam to let out.
Mm-hmm.
That or just to relax and have fun, because during a long work week, you just kind of want to unwind.
Yeah.
If that means a couple drinks with tequila in it, that's a little tequila.
Yeah,
I'm all for it. I'm all for the tequila.
You're about that tequila life?
Yes.
I need a shirt that says that, about that tequila life.
Oh, that's a good
I always say, look, I know I'm not everybody's cup of coffee, but I'm somebody's shot of tequila.
See? This is facts.
That can go towards the Life Grind girls' night line, since we gotta, for the show, we gotta have our little phrases and stuff on shirts and stuff. I think
girls' night line. I like the sound of this.
I like it. Jay Honey, take notes.
I'm telling you.
That is funny. What are we talking about today, girls?
Well, I know that.
Right,
go ahead.
Go ahead. Kick it off.
Okay. I was just going to say, this interesting topic that we saw more recently has been, let's just go ahead and say, what does good head look like to you?
Ashley, I think she's talking to you.
I mean, you don't like it? You don't like it? Look, I was gonna say, because like in this video, they said basically don't be like motorboating it. Like, what is that?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie now. I like a good little slow motorboat. Not no like you in it like this, but like a little motorboat, a little pressure, little sucking, little action, so just a little bit.
Oh my goodness. Okay, this is interesting. Sloppy or not sloppy?
Not sloppy.
It depends.
I think ultimately it does, but I prefer like not like. I mean, if you're gonna spit, like I don't want like a thick ass,
Look, I want that dripping down my butt crack. I don't think that'll be a pleasant feeling while we try to be intimate. Like,
yeah, definitely. We don't like it. This is not a good one. Not a good one. Or we don't bite
or like sucking too hard, because a lot of times they be putting too much pressure on the man in the boat, and it's like he's delicate. Whatever.
Just like your little, testicles are delicate.
Girl, go ahead and say it. We streaming just to YouTube, right?
No.
Oh shit.
You talking about the butt crack?
Let's not get banned on Facebook.
Right? Let me tell you something. The way we talk
about how you eat the peach. How do you eat the juicy peach?
There you go.
Just, do it right.
Right.
Her body will tell you.
Right.
I mean, some women are good at faking it though too, just to get it over and done with.
See, and why are we sending them off like that? Like,
I'll be like, just come up.
I'm usually honest.
Yeah, just come up.
I'd be like,
This ain't for you. Let's.
And then at the end, I'd be like, We need lessons. You need
Oh
lessons.
my goodness, that is funny. Do we like facial hair on the men?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I do. You know that?
What I don't like hair is on they genital area.
No hairy balls.
No, thank you. I don't want to
No,
be
I'm not trying to floss my teeth.
my teeth.
That's y'all, Gemini.
That's got to be the worst thing. And then you got to understand too, because I don't like hair down there for myself. So you got to understand, like people don't understand that. I understand that it is like it helps with keeping bacteria down and things like that, but hair also traps that bacteria. It also
Mhm.
traps those smells. And so even when you think you done scrub clean, sometimes it's a lingering stench that I just can't get past. And I be
Yes.
like, nah, it ain't
Yes.
happening today.
Yeah, so that all the way dry.
Yeah.
Getting out the shower and putting their drawers on.
You, I don't want to smell that today.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
a no-go. It's a no-go.
And
Well,
I'm sensitive to smells anyway, so it wouldn't be for good head for the man. Cause I'd be like, and he might like that, but I'd be like, nah, you just don't want. I ain't even put my
They like
mouth
hearing
on
that.
it, and I'm already gagging before I put my mouth on. Something wrong.
that is funny. You say, find somebody else to do it
Mhm. You go
immediately.
take a 30-minute shower, and for like the first 20 minutes, you need to be scrubbing with a rag, not with your hands, with a rag.
Who's scrubbing their genitals with their hands?
There's a lot that you'd be surprised because this here, they don't use them.
You're lying.
Yeah, one
Swear to God.
lady sat there on the internet and said that using a washcloth is for poor people.
Uh-huh.
How so?
Mhm.
I'm so disgusted.
I want to exfoliate my body.
Yeah, get off the dead skin cells.
Yeah.
Right. Especially in the summertime when I got skin, when I get sun, trying to get all that dead skin off.
Yeah, it's a little nasty, to say the least.
I'm so disgusted.
Well, bro, true story. True story.
All right. I think that's like made me nauseous. So
Next.
yeah, because I'm done. You think it's gonna
Yeah, right. It's like, how does that, like, you wash your hands with soap, like after you go to the bathroom, right? But it's not the same taking a shower. Like, I don't feel clean.
Right. Well,
I
I'm
need
gonna
my
tell you,
soap lathered in my rag.
right. And even when I take a bath, like if I take a bath, I'm hopping back out and getting in the shower because you stewing in your own water.
Right.
Yeah, it's some nasty, dirty people out here.
Ask people. Like, ask if they use wash rags.
They actually have wash day.
Huh?
Make me look at people.
Have you ever heard of that?
Who?
Wash day, where they only you think for us black people, or well, like I gotta say half me, because but for when we say wash day, we thinking hair, right?
Yeah.
They talking about their body.
Oh, hell no.
So
they don't take baths throughout the week, and then they have a specific wash day.
I don't like it.
And one lady said that what she does is she'll wash her hair and let the soap drip down to the rest of her body.
I did see that.
Wow.
That's nasty.
UTI much? I mean,
some of everything.
Yeah.
I know she felt like a wet puppy.
No, that's a no for me.
Dang. I didn't realize it was okay, wash day.
It's definitely a cultural difference. And people have asked me.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What else we got for tonight? Because y'all just blew my mind with that one.
Oh, go ahead, Ash.
Let me go back to our notes here. Sorry.
Oh.
So our next question is, for women, do you still like to be officially asked to be someone's girlfriend?
Yes.
What does that sound like though, Peaches? Like,
that sounds like we having a conversation about where our next steps are going, what we're doing. And hey, you know, I really like you. I think that this has potential to be something greater. You know, I'd like you to be my girlfriend if you're okay with that. Okay, cool. You know, now some people do the elaborate dinner date and asking them in a proposal type way, and that's cool too. But
Mhm.
I just think open communication is just very important when you're talking about being with somebody, because at the end of the day, nobody wants to assume. I'm gonna tell you, just based on my own little experience.
okay,
You know, a man will ask you, "Hey, let's exclusively date," right? And then you are automatically thinking, "Oh, well, we potentially gonna be boyfriend girlfriend." But then months go by and he like, "Yeah, no, this is my homegirl, or this just somebody I know, or this somebody that I'm talking to," and you looking like, talking to, like,
Mhm.
excuse me, because I'm gonna tell you personally, for me, I just think that men know what they want. They know if they're gonna take you seriously or not. And a lot of times we will stay in situations thinking that we'll change their minds. And I personally ain't trying to do that. I'm not trying to beg nobody to be with me or anything like that. And like I said, I don't want to assume nothing. So until I'm asked, I'm just gonna assume that we just talking. And then you can't get upset if somebody offering something more.
yeah,
See, the downfall to all of that, because we all do that. And you know what? Here's the sad truth is we live in a world full of assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
We assume you're talking to other people and you may not be talking to other people, and I may only be the only person you're talking to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we assume that because we may be that person who's talking to other people, because we're done wasting our time, we're done putting all our eggs in one basket, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, we are going through life based on assumptions, which is a bad thing. However, if no one's willing to take that risk of having that conversation, expressing your feelings, then that's all it's going to be, is just friends or friends with benefits or whatever. Because I could go out and walk out with people and like, oh yeah, this is my boo. Okay, so what does boo classify as? Is boo like, this is my boo, when I need some, I call her to,
Yeah.
right, my nighttime lady, my nighttime yum, or is this like my boo, like potential exclusivity, like a potential girlfriend, Um, there's so many stages to it, but with fast-paced world, don't take time to actually sit down and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a conversation. You know, there's so many labels nowadays, right? And like that talking, dating, all that stuff. So yeah. So you know, you gotta have that conversation about being monogamous. That it's only you and I in this thing. And unfortunately, sometimes unless you are very specific, it asks, those clarifying questions. Men will find that loophole and be like,
Ooh,
just my homegirl. Like,
yeah.
no.
Oh my
God. Like, no.
Right.
Yeah. So I think you have to have that explicit conversation.
Right. Yeah, because it leaves no room for miscommunication. It leaves no room for assumptions. And this is the other thing too. Like, you could be going day to day with a person, right? And you don't even know if they really like you for real, for real. It's like, okay, well, we doing all this stuff, but then you over here, next thing I know, you entertaining somebody else. Why you just ain't say you wasn't feeling moving forward? You know what I'm saying? And I hate when people try to use people as placeholders, because it's like, oh, I know this is a good girl, so I'm going to keep her around because I enjoy the convenience of her and what she brings. However, I don't really like her like that. I really want somebody else, or I got a different type of girl in mind. And then it's like you holding on to that person just for the sake of it's convenient.
It's convenient.
Right.
And I don't like it.
Or I'm gonna use this as my fallback person. Like, if this don't work out, just in case that don't work out, then she's still there doing just enough to keep her.
That's how a lot of men also settle when marrying a woman, because that's not really the woman you want to be with, but because she was just there and around, that's who you ended up being with. Like, I don't want nobody to choose me because I'm convenient for them. I want them to choose me specifically because, damn, like, I really enjoy being around you, Ash. I really see that we can actually build something together. I see that you support me. I see that you care about me. I see these things. You see what I'm saying? Not because, you know, she around, she do what I wanted to do. I ain't got to do nothing, you know. And it's convenient for me because I don't have to put forth an effort for her to do whatever it is to cater to me.
Yeah. And I think that, like, a lot of people are out here searching for perfection in their partner. And that's just unrealistic. But Peaches, I don't know if you watched this show. I can't forget what show it was, but Ashley had put something in the comments about the whole 80-20 piece. Like, the woman that they're with is 80% of what they want, but then it's somebody around that makes up that other 20%. So between the two of them, they have that whole woman and who it is they actually want. And that is so unfortunate.
It is. It very much so is. Because at the end of the day, it's like, you know, and but see, here's what a lot of men also don't understand is they 80-20s too.
Right.
Because I'm gonna tell you, but see, here's the difference between them and us. We will take the 80 and understand that 80 is a good piece of the pie and is important, versus that 20%. We like, oh, child, please, I'm not missing that. But because men are searching for that type of fulfillment and completion and perfection, they try to have everything. Like, I think I've had the conversation before. Like, you may have a woman or man, same type of situation where this person gives you everything checked off characteristic wise, makes you laugh, you know, all these things, but the one thing they fail in is maybe being a good person in bed, right? Or the sex is decent, right? You still get your happy ending, but it's not mind-blowing sex, right?
Yeah.
But everybody is looking for this, I superhead or this, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where, like I said, sex is teachable if you willing to receive constructive criticism and actually implement. let me reiterate. If you are actually able to receive the constructive criticism and able to actually implement the steps. Because, you know, I know for me, I'm a bit of an overachiever and I try to outdo myself, okay? Well, sometimes if I don't know a specific skill set, I will find ways to try to practice that skill set. And hopefully I have a partner that is willing to allow me to
Exactly. I feel you on that.
Learn together.
Learn together. So that piece, though, it hit me hard because I feel like that's one of my predicaments right now. Like, I told this person, I was like, you know, as long as I'm around, you're always gonna have what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're because you're getting these other things, you know what I'm saying, for me. So it's really crazy. The 20% usually stems from lust. Interesting.
Yes. Well,
and pop up.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? Before you became that 80%, they lusted after you first. Which is very interesting to me, because then once you start showing them that you are more than that 20%, then it's like, okay, cool, she more than 20%. But now I want something different. Now I want something more. It's like, I don't know, it's almost like what people say, glutton. Like, you just have to have everything. You have to have more of something. Because I will say this, I've noticed that a lot of times the men I've dated would get me, right? They like, oh, she's gorgeous, she got her head on straight, and blah 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 blah, right? And then it's like, yeah, I like you, but you know, it may be the factor of the fact that I have 3 kids, right? So they're looking for a replacement for me,
Mm-hmm.
They like me. They're just looking for the same girl, but hopefully a better version, right? And it's always trying to search for that better version where we end up losing out on something good. So I will say, they always come back.
It's crazy, Peaches, because I literally told him, I said, you go look for me in somebody else, and you're not gonna find it.
You're not. Sorry.
Or they look for somebody that looks like you. And that's the crazy. That is the crazy thing. Because I've seen that and I was like, you left me for that? Tell me you have a type without telling me you have a type. Right. I'll go first. You know?
Yeah. So it all boils down to men are crazy. Period.
It's not us. They say we're crazy.
No, they make us crazy. Initially, we ain't crazy. They just make us crazy because it's like y'all confusing as hell. Y'all like if you don't understand how much clear communication goes a long way with any woman. Once you tell her straight up direct and are clear with your intentions, are clear with your direction, we don't have no problem.
Yeah. Sometimes they be thinking they are clear, but it's like, no.
They're not. Right. It's very watered down. Steven said, excuse me?
Yes.
We said what we said. Because, and Steven, don't take this to heart. It's not just you. We're not saying it's you. We're not saying it's all men, because there are men out there that know how to communicate, right? Who know how to communicate in black and white and not beat around a damn bush and say, well, I want this, this, and that. That's like you saying, all right, babe, I want chicken, broccoli, and butter noodles for dinner. Okay, you told me you want chicken, but you didn't tell me how you want your chicken. So if I throw it on the grill and you come home, you're like, well, I wanted fried chicken. You didn't say you wanted fried chicken. You said you just wanted chicken, broccoli, and butter noodles.
Right.
Well, you should know that fried chicken goes with butter noodles. Oh, don't come at me with that. No, you know what I'm saying?
I hate that you should know.
I hate that. I am not a mind reader. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
And you know what? To your point, Ash, or either it's not even a decision at all. Like you may, like, we're gonna use the food thing for example. He say, I'm hungry. I want to eat something. Okay, what do you want to eat? I don't know. And you like,
and they say it's us.
You're right. They say we the one.
Okay. And what you want to eat? It really doesn't matter. Or you'll list something and say, okay, well, let me go ahead and lead and with an example. Okay, I want to eat pizza. No, I don't really want that. Then what the hell do you want?
What do you want?
Right.
That stuff be making me like.
Well, you give them like 5 options. You give them 5 options, and no, I don't want that. Well, then you know what? I'm gonna go get me dinner. You can figure out what the fuck you want when you figure that out.
That part.
Figure it out.
That's how you sometimes have to do, even in a dating scene. It's like, okay, hey, here are what are the facts? What's presented in front of us? This is what we're doing. All right, we're doing everything of a relationship with no commitment, no title, no nothing. So what is it exactly are you looking for? Are you looking for a companion? So that you don't have to take on the responsibility of being held accountable when you don't do what you're supposed to do? Right. Or like, because sometimes you have these individuals that do like the idea of a relationship and want the dynamic of a relationship, but they don't want to be held accountable for when they mess up, or when they're not performing well, or when they're not giving you what you need.
Yeah.
I think that's also the problem that I've had, where it's like the meme says, everybody want a good woman until that good woman forces you to become a good man.
Say it.
Well, some people aren't ready for that.
They just aren't ready. Right. But this leads into the next question, like our mindsets of dating. Because are we dating just for companionship? Are we going with the flow? Are you dating with intentionality? What does that look like for each of us right now in the phase and stage and the season that we're in? Pretty interesting, right?
Well, I know for myself.
Okay.
This is why I sometimes remove myself from the dating scene. And I'll tell people I took myself off the market, because when I date with intentions, meaning I'm not saying you're going to be my husband, but there is a possibility that you might. So I'm going to give you 100% of who I am. Now, once I realize that you're not receiving me well, or you're not reciprocating the effort, or you just take, then I'm going to start adjusting accordingly at that point. to say, okay, here's what you're not doing. And here's the thing, I always lead in the beginning before I talk to somebody. I'm like, all right, like, you get my number, use it, because I'm not dating to waste time. If you want to waste time, if you just want to kick it, let that be known. And I'll let you know if that's feasible for me or not. But you have to also be okay with the fact that I may not be online or on board with what you're trying to do. And that's where I think a lot of men don't understand, and they get upset because, well, we might as well just lie to y'all. No, you should want somebody willingly wanting to participate with you in whatever that dynamic looks like. So I go with, you know, treating a person as if they are my husband, even if they're not, you know. So when it comes down to it, when I have to walk away, first of all, you're going to feel it. But two, you can't ever say that I didn't put forth a good effort in showing you that you mean something to me. And that I'm taking it serious.
Yeah. That you're actually, so it's intentional. It's intentional. Ashley, what about you?
So I'm that person. I'm just like Peaches. So it's like, I'm that person when I go into even getting to know somebody. And this is where we get hurt, and this is where we fuck up, right? Because we share, I feel like sometimes we share too much right away. Yes, I can cook. Yes, I could do this. Yes, I could do this. And you do it with love. You do it with, you know, you pour yourself into it, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not received that way. Or some people will be like, hey, I appreciate this. Like, I haven't had this before. Thank you so much. Okay, well, pay attention to that, right? Can't stand said.
No.
We put in all our energy. And just like Peaches said, it's not reciprocated back. And so we set ourselves up for failure and set ourselves up for hurt because we're constantly giving and helping others or pouring into that person. But when we need something, it's not reciprocated back into us. And then it's like, okay. And that's where we have that's where the women have that mindset of like, man, fuck it. I don't need a man because when I do need help, nobody's there to help me. I'll just do it myself. Or you have to pay somebody to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I do all of this for you. I bend over backwards to do this for you. But it's not reciprocated back when we need something. Like, we literally drop what we're doing. And I know we can't set that expectation. And I've learned that recently. I'm like, I can't expect what I give to others. I can't expect to get that back to me. But at the same time, like, it's nice. Like, if I'm traveling to come see you, I would like it for you to come travel to see me.
Well, consideration.
If I'm paying for everything, right? It at the same time. Like, if I'm doing things, if I'm communicating, but the minute I fall off and I stop communicating,
what I'm you doing?
You. Right.
Don't ask.
Exactly.
Come back.
Right. Remember, they crazy. That's why they crazy. It's like crazy.
Oh, you acting weird? Or you acting different now? I always tell people, nah, look, I give you me up front. And when you show me that I can't thrive well in your environment and I start acting different, don't be looking at it like, oh, well, no, I'm a reflection of you, how you treat me. Who the hell wants to be in somebody's space that's always grumpy and mad and you're bubbly and happy to be there and laughing and trying to crack jokes and this and that. And then it's like, okay, well, I'll leave you alone then, and I'm gonna go over here. And then now you think I'm acting funny because I don't want to be in your space. Who wants to be in that?
Yeah, nobody at all. So admittedly, I will say that lately it's been a kind of go with the flow thing for me, right? Because I haven't been serious. Like, I haven't taken anybody seriously. I've just been out here kind of like, you know,
having fun.
Having fun. And like, and I don't know. I think I need to change that for now and be a little more intentional because I legit have been out here like stringing people along. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, just playing with people. And that's not right because I wasn't really ready. But I've come to the realization that what?
Let me ask you about that because I've been in that boat. I'll immediately say, what are you looking for? and they're like, I'm just looking for something casual. I'm looking for, friends or whatever.
Right.
As long as we have that conversation in the beginning, you're really not stringing anybody along because we already had that discussion. You're just looking for something casual. However, feelings do develop, right?
Yes, this is
And
true.
that happened to me, and I let my feelings get out, and it is what it is. I explained it, but I was also grounded and brought back down. I'm like, you know what? You checked me. I appreciate that. That's a real person right there checking me. That's a real man putting me in my place. Like, damn, you're absolutely right. Right.
Yeah.
But it's all about that initial conversation. So if you said casual or intention of, becoming something, that's different.
Yeah. But I mean, like me stringing them along, meaning like, me knowing that that I wasn't really ready to be in the dating world, but then acting like I am, you know what I'm saying? Like that's definitely not me not verbalizing that to you, you know what I'm saying? Or just knowing that
too.
You said what?
Go ahead, finish. But I got a question after you get done. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Is it a question for me?
No, no, it's like a general question.
Okay. So yeah, not really communicating that I wasn't ready to be, out here dating for real, or that like my mind and my heart is with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can't be friends with a guy without catching feelings. Absolutely. I have plenty of guy friends.
Yeah, we just
I can have that guard up. I can have that guard up. But the minute I see your heart and who you are, like if I see like a real genuine man, I'm like, damn, like you're real genuine. Like, okay, like you're real. But there's no effort. I was like, all right, how is this really gonna work out? But yes, I do have and someone a friend of mine keeps busting my balls. He's like, I don't understand how you have a homeboy and y'all don't fuck. We don't. People think we're dating, but we're not. Like we go out.
I'm gonna
we
tell
go
you,
out and get drinks.
If he ugly, we can be friends. If he cute, I ain't making no promises.
So if
I ain't making no promises, I might actually catch her feelings because I might be like, "Oh, boy, you so cute."
Oh my goodness.
Let me stop. But I did have a question.
What?
Regarding like the whole stringing people along type of thing. But it's not necessarily about stringing people along. It's more so, okay, I have a problem with this. Your intentions are intentional to date with a purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
But are people really communicating when that changes? Because here's the thing, a lot of times a person will go in with basic knowledge of you, right? They like, oh, you know what? I see this person on social media. I know that this person could potentially be a wife, or whatever. I want to date this person seriously and intentionally. But then you date that person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you notice, okay, well, the way that person chew, it's annoying. I don't think I can deal with it. Yeah. And this is just giving an example, right? Mm-hmm. But you still keep with the dating process. You still keep trying to be with this person, but your feelings have changed for this person. I don't understand why people don't just communicate that, hey, you know what? I'm not really getting the connection I had hoped for from this interaction. I hope that we can remain friends, but if not, I understand. It would be so simple.
I mean, a lot of stuff would be simple if people would just say what they feel, you know what I'm saying, when they say it. That's how people end up settling, you know what I'm saying, or end up marrying somebody that they just really, I never liked the way you chew, babe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, say that, that's what but I mean, why can't we say that? Like, do we not want to hurt this person's feelings? But you end up hurting my feelings anyway. So what's the hold up?
At the end of the day, it needs to be like your yeses are a yes and your no's are no's. Just be yourself, be genuine. Because like this also goes hand in hand with what Steve said. He's like, do you think by telling men what you're looking for could be risky because they could pretend to be the person you're searching for? So women do the same thing.
Yep.
The men ask the women, or the women ask the men, what are you looking for? And the women, oh yeah, that's me. I love to eat sushi. I love this. I love that. I love war movies. I love history. No, I fucking hate history. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I failed at history because the teacher sucked. I didn't fail, but I mean, I was like a C-. I barely freaking past history because it was the teachers, right? Now I can go back and look at it and say I don't love it, but it's intriguing, right? So women can do the same thing just to be like the yes girl for that man. And I think men can be the yes man to everything the girl likes. Yeah. But why change? Why not just be you? I am going to be as genuine as I am. Be you. Don't switch it up. I am who I am. Do I have a mouth? Yeah, I'm very blunt. That's just who I am. And a lot of people can't take the bluntness because they're so sensitive. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, get over it. I said what I said. I used to sugarcoat shit for people, but I don't do that anymore. Because why am I going to sugarcoat things? Because if you can't take what I'm saying and understand what I'm saying, that's on you, not me.
Yeah.
I have a response to that. I'm going to put my response to it. But to Steve's point, and some of it is insecurity. Like, right. I'm going to be this person so that they can want me and they can like me. And that's somebody who's insecure about who they are, being blunt or all of that stuff. So that's when
they don't understand their own value.
Yes, they don't. And they probably don't really know who they are as a person anyway. Said, if you think a guy is cool and y'all are vibing, when you feel what's wrong with you, why y'all can't be together. Most times it's the man.
This is the thing. This is the thing. Like when you're around somebody, like, and this is what I also had to like also get other people to understand. Okay, I think it's okay if your friends try to set you up with people, right? But I also think that there's a dangerous road with that because you only know this person in a specific friendship format. Yeah. You don't know them in a romantic sense. So a lot of times I'll be looking at my friend because I've had situations where I'll be looking at my friend like, bitch, I know damn well you didn't hook me up with this man. I know damn well you didn't think we was compatible.
Yeah.
Because he ain't it.
That's why Sid won't hook me up with nobody. He said it on the show. That exactly. He'll never see his friend up. He said he ain't never doing it.
So that goes to that point saying that you don't know how people are in a romantic sense when it comes to you. So it's like you could be friends with that person and you like, oh man, this is my best friend. You know, I love this person. But then when y'all turn that switch, now because I've had a situation where a man in a friendship capacity wasn't nothing wrong with me, right? But when we started switching over, he was like, oh, well, you interrupt too much. Or, oh, you and everybody interrupts people. You just be like, oh, excuse me, you know, I mean to interrupt, but you know, this is this. But like even with that, or he would say, like, you know, when we spend a quality time together and I want to watch a movie, you ain't watching the movie, you reading the book. And it's like, what?
He's petty.
What is he doing here?
That is crazy. I had somebody their comment was like they were afraid of losing that person's friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like, because what if it doesn't work out? You know, they may be vibing, but then what if it doesn't work out? And you know, my thing is sometimes the very thing you want is on the opposite side of what you are afraid to do. So sometimes you can't let that fear or whatever hold you back. But I think you just gotta see. You just gotta see what it is.
Right.
To see what it do. Okay, Ashley, I have a question for you because you were saying she was like, I'm just blunt and that's just who I am. And that's the way I am. So do you think that bluntness won't be problematic at any point in the relationship?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Because it's all being blunt, it's all about the tone, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm blunt, but my tone is like a normal tone, I think it'll be received well. Now, if I'm being blunt and I have a whole attitude, obviously we're going to start World War III in the house. So, you know, because you're not going to like it because I have an attitude. But at the same time, it's just like, can I articulate how I feel better some ways? Yeah, but at the same time, it's like when you're trying to get your point across and you've tried to get your point across numerous times and they're just not getting it, you leave me no choice but to be the asshole. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you, I concur with that, because it's almost like the saying, y'all don't hear me when I'm calm. It's when I snap that you start paying attention. And it's like, why do I have to resort to that point when you could just listen to me the first time? When I'm telling you and expressing to you, hey, you know, I didn't like how you did this, or I didn't like how you came off with this. You know, now I got to be petty and do it to you so that you can feel how I felt, and then come at me crazy. And then I'll be like, yeah, don't feel good, do it.
Right.
Cause I know, I'm gonna tell you, I did it. I ain't gonna lie. Cause I had somebody refer to me as somebody in their presence, saying, "Yeah, I'm doing something for somebody." And I'm like, somebody?
Who is somebody?
Who the hell? This somebody got a name? Goddamn it! I know you ain't gotta call me your girlfriend, cause I know we ain't there yet. But I'll be there.
Just had a friend.
It not even that. I have a name. I have a name.
Period.
But so at the same time, in their defense,
we ain't friends if we ain't friends if we okay. So don't call me your friend. Don't call me no somebody. My name is Ashley.
So I'm looking at Sed's comment, BMW, and I'm like, BMW. I was like, oh, big mouth women. Sed, tell me how you really feel. We just have a voice. We know how to use it. We know how to use it. I'm just saying.
She's just saying. So, Ashley, you and your bluntness, this leads to our next question about, you know, stepping outside of yourself, right? Peaches, I'm gonna let you explain this.
Okay, so I tried to explain it to a friend of mine. We were talking about this today, and she and I was like, you know, we have to start asking anybody that we're, you know, romantically involved with, even ourselves, if you were to step outside of your body and be the other person dating you, could you see yourself long term with this person? Could you see yourself long term with yourself, basically? Yes. And if the answer is yes, what are some of your strongest qualities? And do you think that you are projecting those qualities while you're dating? Because it's important to not only know what your strongest suits are, but to also actually implement those. Because how is somebody supposed to know if you're a good candidate if you're not showing that?
Yeah.
And then if it's a no, then what are your weak points? What are some things that you can improve on that would make you a better person for someone's spouse or potential significant other?
All right. So no, Ashley, you go ahead.
Okay. So my answer is going to be yes, but I'm going to give you guys my strengths. I'm going to tell you what my weaknesses are, right? So Sed said I can date myself. Of course you can.
You go, boy.
I'm not going to drop any knowledge on that one. Of course you can, okay? Keep my halo right here. But anyways, for me, I'm a very caring person. I immediately, you know, the minute I'm talking to somebody, I give you like my attention, right? I will check, you know, I'll send you, if I don't get the good morning text, I'll send a good morning text. Good morning. How are you? How was your day? Right? The constant communication, I try to hold up with that. You know, if I have that privilege to cook for you, I will cook for you. I will serve you. I will give. I'm such a giver of like time, energy, everything. I'm very empathetic. I listen to what you have to say. If you come to me for advice, I listen, I provide advice, you know, and I'm also encouraging. So I pour into you. And I think that's so important. When you're looking for a partner, you want to be able to pour into one another. So if I'm going through a hard time, I want to set some Miss Perfect. That's right, baby. That's right. So if I'm pouring into you and if I'm going through a hard time, I want you to be able to pour into me and I want you to be able to lift me up as well. I think that's so, again, it's so important to lift one another up. It should never be 50-50. It should always be 100. Both of us putting it all in, right? Now, my things I would have to work on is obviously my bluntness. You know, it's not for everyone. And I understand that. But at the same time, my bluntness will only come out if I've asked a couple of times, or if I am just like at my wit's end with life in work and everything, sometimes it just it slips out and it's like, shit, let me, retract that. I meant to say it like this. I think that's my biggest weakness is, or my biggest thing I have to work on is my bluntness.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very, I communicate. I communicate. Like I said, I am very empathetic. I pour into people. And I think with men want to be heard, right? Men want to get that advice because most men are mama boys, whether they want to admit it or not. And they are looking for that nurturing person, right? So me, I feel like I'm a very nurturing person. Why? Because I have 5 younger brothers and I was always there for them, being the nurturer, being mother hen. So I already have that natural thing. Most men don't or there are some men that don't like it and run away because you're like, damn, you are too good to be true. I can't fuck with you no more. Right. Exactly.
Too much. I think that, okay, so I definitely would date myself, right? I'm attentive, I'm that nurturing, you know what I'm saying, encouraging, all of that. Like, so I know my biggest downfall. This is huge, okay? So I'm not going to verbalize or ask for anything, which is horrible because and it's not even like in past relationships, but like growing up, I was made to feel like if you ask for something, you are a burden. So I'm not going to ask because I don't want to be somebody's burden. So in my last relationship, this was a huge thing with us. Like, I frustrated the crap out of him, but he got to know that about me, so he would just do it. And then once he made me feel comfortable in doing, and I could see that he was dependable and consistent, then I began to verbalize it. But that is huge for me because if I take the time to ask you for something and you make it seem like it's like this huge inconvenience, yes, then that wall is gone. I'm not asking you for anything, which is not good.
Right.
Is really not good. That's like my number one thing in relationships. Like, I'm not gonna ask.
I can say it. Yeah, I'm the same. Like, I don't like to ask for help or ask, for a favor or anything because, again, I grew up being the independent person, so it's hard for me to even ask. And like Jay Hendo always preaches, it's like the men should be taking out the trash, the men should be doing this, the men should be doing that. I just had a conversation with him and I said, if a man walks in my house today, takes out my trash and does this and does that, I'm like, hold on, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I could do, like, what am I supposed to do with myself now? Seriously, you're doing everything, all my activities. What am I supposed to do? Sit here and look pretty? Like, what am I supposed to do?
That's what I want to do. I want to sit and look pretty.
Exactly.
You want me to have time to do my hair? You want me to have time to put on some nice clothes? Then you do some shit. Yeah. Because my thing is this, like, okay, so to both of y'all's point, like, I know that it is very hard for me to ask for help. So if I'm asking for help, I really need it. And if you fail to come through when I ask you, oh, you ain't gotta worry about me no more.
Yeah. And that's horrible. Like, that's when I tell you, me and this man used to get into arguments. He would be so pissed. No lie. And this is the one we was in a car chase. Okay. So yeah. I was picking him up from the airport, and this was like right after college. Okay. I was picking him up from the airport and I got into a car accident. I didn't have no insurance. Like, I had just graduated, and he was like, why ain't you got no insurance? And then it came into this whole big old thing. Well, I couldn't pay for the insurance. You need to open your mouth and say something. So huge argument, right? But as time went on, that just, our partnership just, became like that. But, and it's not that I'm doing these things or not asking out of independence. Like, I don't need nobody to help me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to take those things over, or I want you to want to do those things for me. But
you want them to want to do it on their own terms, not because you ask.
Exactly, because in the past, people have made me feel like it's a big deal. Like, it's a big deal that I'm asking you to do this. So,
right.
You just don't take that.
And I get that, because I am like that in a sense of where I will give to people. I know this is the thing. I'll observe you. If you tell me you need something, I make a mental note. I go ahead and do it. I try to take care of it, because here's the thing. You want somebody to show you that they're even qualified to be in your life.
Yeah.
And so I just hope that I could get that same in return. And most of the time, if not every time, it's always I don't get that same thing in return.
Yeah.
It's like pulling teeth trying to get a person to understand, hey, I'm doing XYZ, and I never have been the person to say, well, I'm doing this, so you should do this. No, that's not why I do what I do. But at the same token, nobody wants to get taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to feel like what they're doing is being taken for granted because you feel like, oh, she is obligated to do so. I don't have to do nothing. Yeah, okay. And like I told somebody before, I am unconditional love. I am unconditional care. So I project that to anybody that comes in my vicinity. It has nothing to do with you could just be you and I would still love and care for you. But I would hope that you would return that and return that favor to me to make me feel like you actually genuinely want me in your life. Because sometimes when you lack the empathy to look at a person's situation and say, you know what, how can I be of service to you today? It's unfair for a woman to constantly want to serve and be of service to a man and she not have that same thing in return. It's like, oh, well, she got to do this. She got to cook. She got to clean. She got to do this for me. But I ain't got to do nothing for her. Oh, well, I got to pay her bills. I don't live there. You don't have to live there or if the girl come to you, why not pay for the gas?
Yeah.
Why not? You know what I'm saying?
That part.
Or my thing is, why not come to her sometimes? You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where you have to give and take in any given situation. And, I think a lot of people don't understand that. But when it comes to me dating myself, I already told y'all off air, I would date myself, marry myself, put a bunch of babies up in myself, the whole 9 yards, because I will say one thing without a shadow of a doubt, I know who I am, what type of value I bring to any person's life, whether they in a friendship capacity or romantic. I will say, there are some things that I need to work on as far as people say you should address things right away, but not always. Sometimes things take you time to kind of process first, because sometimes some conversations aren't even worth it. Sometimes conversations aren't even worth it because, is it a detriment to your relationship or whatever path you're going in? So it's like, what's the point in having that conversation? But like, I know that is one thing I need to start addressing things when they happen, versus going back and trying to be petty. Because I tend to do that sometimes.
Oh, you petty Betty too?
Well, like I said, I did that a couple times. I wanted the person to understand that even though you are projecting a certain type of light, it's like, I can show you that I don't really care for real. But when I do it, it's like, oh, now you got feelings.
Like, now
you got feelings.
Yeah.
Where was all these feelings when you was disrespecting me?
That is funny. Ashley's like, no, all of a sudden, said, if y'all communicating, everybody should know what's needed without asking. And I 100% agree with that.
Agree.
If everybody
exactly. What not with just men, but us women do it too. I know we're all guilty of it. We have a conversation. We're not 100% all ears. So sometimes it's going in and part of it is going out, right? Because again, why is that? We are in such a fast-paced world. We hear like the key points, but we hear everything. So now we're assuming what you said. And again, said you could say I'm lying. Steven, you could say I'm lying, but I know y'all know there's some fucking truth. Y'all listen to what you want to listen to.
It also stems from selfishness too, because here's the thing. I know with a lot of men, they're okay with having conversations about what they want to conversate about, right? But as soon as you try to bring up a conversation or have a intellectual dialogue back and forth, it's like, oh, I'm doing something right now. I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, okay. Or they do this. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm like, did you even hear anything I said?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What I say?
Don't do that.
They're like, you said something along the lines of X, Y, and Z. No, I want you to say what I just said, not along the lines, or it sounded like. No.
Say what I said.
Right.
Yeah.
Say what I said. I don't know. I think Steve needs somebody to clarify that comment. He said, huh?
Oh no, I think he heard us. That's his rhetorical. Huh? Yeah, exactly.
That's a
I said what I
line.
said. Right.
Huh?
A typical man. Huh? What'd you say? I heard you say my name, but I didn't hear anything else after that.
That
But
is
you know what you have to do? You do have to question though when they don't, when they're not in a space to receive a conversation from you or to give a type of conversation that helps navigate and build a bond between you two, not just random shit throughout the day. I mean, actually having a dialogue about what we're doing, you know, what pace we're going, am I being of service to you, what do you need from me, things like that that help you build that bond. If they're not having them type of conversation, you kind of got to sit back and say, do this person really likes me, or do they really like the convenience of me?
Mm-hmm.
That's a great question. Am I just a companion for them?
A convenience companion at that. See, and here's the other thing with this is, going back to when you are getting to know somebody, I think it's so important to know what are your goals in life? What are you wanting to pursue in life? Like me, I want to pursue comedy, right? So I have my shows here and there. I want my future significant other to be like, all right, what jokes do you have? Let's work on your material together. You know what I'm saying? Build me up. If you want to be in the gym and you want to, go to, strongman, whatever, I'm going to be there. Like, you need to get your ass in the gym. No, we're not eating carbs this day, but tomorrow you can max out on your carbs because I know you need it. Right. So it's right. You have to work together. And that's like my biggest thing is I want to be able to pour into, and I've done this my entire life. It's just pouring into people. But when I pour into people, it's not being reciprocated back to us. Right. And that's what I want. Like if I'm pouring, it needs to be right back into me. And that's what happened, a while ago is I was on E and somebody messaged me and I went off. And it wasn't very bad, but it's very blunt. Like, what do you want from me? I've given to so many people lately. I'm done. I'm tired. Haven't heard from you in a week, and now you're gonna come up my ass. Like, what do you want? And that's where I say like my bluntness comes in, because it's like I haven't heard from you in a week.
Yeah.
And then now you want to come and I'm just supposed to be like, oh, hey, good morning. No. What the fuck do you want? My cup is empty. Seriously. What do you want at this point? Haven't heard from you in a week. And it's like we all go through shit. But like they say, if they want, they will do.
I have to actually.
So if you want to have that communication, go ahead.
That everybody goes through stuff, because a lot of times people will use that as an excuse to be nasty towards people that don't deserve it. I always tell people your attitude, what you're going through does not give you a pass or an excuse to treat me how you want to treat me, and I'm supposed to be patient with you. But when it comes to me and I'm expressing my needs as to what we need to do in this predicament or relationship or situationship, whatever it may be, now it's a problem.
You became reciprocal, will you, ladies? Absolutely. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Right. I'm open. I'm gonna tell you too. People have to also take into consideration that when they are ready to step out in the dating world, they have to also be mindful of that. Are you able to receive what somebody is giving you? Because if you in a situation, like, because I've been in situations where I would want to do something nice for somebody, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I want to do this. And they're like, well, no, it's all right. It's okay. No. And it makes me feel sad, because I'm like, but you were, you do XYZ for everybody else. Like, you should want to, do something for yourself. And if I'm able to, I would like to do those things for you. But if it's like, if you're going to fight me tooth and nail, then it's like, well, shit, I don't want to do it no more. Yeah. Now I ain't gonna do nothing else for you.
Yeah. You know what? With Steve's comment though, real talk. Like as I've been out here stringing people along, the minute though somebody gets serious, it would scare the crap out of me. And so I would put some resistance. Like I would like, you know what?
Nah, come on. Let's be boyfriend, girlfriend so we can stop being in these streets together. God damn it. I'm ready to travel on a regular, get nasty, and do all kind of stuff with my one person.
No, it was scared the crap out of me. And literally, like I said, it was legit because I had my heart, my mind set on somebody. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh crap, red flag. But I'm the red flag. They not the red flag. I'm the red flag. Like,
it's not you.
It's not them. It's me. But yeah, so I would say these last few guys, I've been definitely just doing whatever, going with the flow.
And she's not sorry about it.
I'm not. You know, I knew that there was nothing serious that was going to come of any of them.
I will say this though, Donna.
What?
I am really understanding why a lot of women say date them all.
Date them all.
And made a best man win. But see, the only problem with that for me is that I can't focus on multiple people. I can only focus on one person because
that's my max.
I can't even do two because first of all, I already don't remember my kids' names. Why would I do that to myself? I'm not doing that. But some people
can. You know what? Our smartphones nowadays, we can put notes in there. So this is what they like. Like,
hey, it was helpful for me that the last three of them, they all had the same career, so I didn't have to.
So what do you do for a living? Oh, okay. Can't forget that.
Like, yeah.
So I want to address this comment real quick because we're going back here. Said because an argument is waiting to happen. That's why men don't really talk about things. But if you're holding it in, you're the problem. If you're holding it in, if I do something that pisses you off, and it could be something simple as loading the dishwasher. I have a specific way of loading the dishwasher. You come in my house and you do it a certain way. I'm gonna be like, okay, look, I'm just going to show you how I do it. You know, cups and bowls go on top, plates and other bigger things go on the bottom, right? To me, it's common sense. But to everybody else, people just throw shit in there and like, it's going to get clean no matter what.
Right. But you know what? And to your point, Ash, you know, a lot of times, you know, men are so used to one thing that it's weird when they have a woman that is actually she holds herself accountable for things. Mm-hmm. Like I remember it was so funny because I had tripped up somebody because they was just like, nah, don't worry about it. I was like, no, because I don't want to change you. It has nothing to do with change. It has everything to do with if I'm doing something that is hurting you or not making you feel secure enough, let me know what I did so that I can correct that. Because I might not even see what you see from a different perspective or lens. Yeah. And sure enough, I didn't see it that way. And I was like, hey, well, this was actually my intent. I didn't really mean that. I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry that I made you feel that way. It was never my intent to do so. And I'll make sure that from this point forward, I do X, Y, Z to make sure that you are comfortable. Right. Mm-hmm. And it was like, okay. Well, you said something else, but I can't remember. So, you know, and it's just like, it could easily be resolved with conversation because I may not see what you see. And, you know, I know a lot of people just expect people to know, but that's not the case. I can't read your mind. You can't read my mind. The only way for us to progress into something better and to be better for each other is if we hold each other accountable and we communicate.
Period. Mm-hmm. Communication is the key.
Amen. And comprehension. It goes hand in hand, baby.
The 2 C's. And what were your other ones, Peaches? You said something and implement. Take constructive criticism and implement.
Those steps.
Bam.
Also, and that falls in with accountability too. It's like, you know, hold yourself accountable.
Right.
It's not that hard.
Because I'm holding myself accountable.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, you have to. It's a must. So I think we've waited too late in the month to have a ladies' night. So we gotta have one earlier in April.
Well, we've kind of been under the weather.
Yeah.
And that's, it kind of got pushed along. So we do apologize.
Yes.
But April's coming out. We're going to figure out a date and we'll be back with another ladies' night because I know y'all like us talking shit about y'all anyway.
Absolutely. And then me and Ashley won't sound so stopped up.
I sound perfectly fine. What? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Are you sure?
No.
Fine. I'm nasally. Okay.
Oh my God. What do we have coming up on Life Grind? We have on next Friday, Jay Hendo and Timo, they're coming back and they're talking about the downfalls of relationships or something. So we definitely got to troll them in the comments. And then we got a tight April schedule coming up. So y'all stay tuned to see all of the fun. Oh, and tomorrow is Life Grind's 2-year anniversary on March 29th of 2021. Jay Hendo came up with this thing and he was like, let's do this. And I was like, oh, and then that's how Life Grind came to be. So we're going to be doing a little celebrating tomorrow. So thank you to everybody who's been rocking with us and supporting us for the past 2 years. We got some big things coming and stay tuned. That's it.
Peace out.
Peace out.